Olu will not be able to answer that for us. We'll talk about it later. What he can answer for us is how today's been, how mini camp has been so far.
Mini camp has been okay. It's been very competitive. Yesterday was good. We had some good plays on offense. We had some turnovers. Defense did well.
Yeah.
So it was back and forth combative.
Productive.
Yeah, for sure.
What's the competitiveness like with the D-line? Because y'all don't really get going until you put them pads on. On the outside, us receivers and DBs, we can get at each other a little bit more. But on the inside, man, how tough is it to take care of each other and really show that you're winning some of these reps without pads on?
Nah, it's hard. I sometimes tell people it's honestly harder to practice as an O-line, D-lineman without pads than it is with pads on. But, you try your best to take care of someone, work the technique, show that you're in a winning position and things of that nature. But the biggest thing is in the offseason for sure, just taking care of your teammates. You don't want nobody to get hurt at this time. I mean, you never want anybody to get hurt, but we understand in football there's going to be injuries.
Is what makes it harder without pads because you have to rely so much on technique, or what makes it really tough?
It's just leverage, and then being able to have something to actually grab onto, things of that nature. But we're not in the business of making excuses. We just try to get the most out of it that we can.
When Grubb got the job, I started thinking about how things will change on the outside, right? The route combinations and all that stuff. For the most part, I feel like the box is the box. Calls are calls. Is there something different that he brings to Huff specifically to the offensive line, or is it pretty consistent when it comes to offensive line playing the calls and checks and all that?
Yeah, O-line play doesn't change scheme to scheme. The only difference is you might be more of a balanced team. You might be more of a passing team. You might be more run heavy. You might like certain runs better as a coaching staff that you really focus on. So that's the only thing that changed. But protection is protection. 5-man, 6-man, 7-man, play action, all that. All that's the same.
You got a couple more practices here, and then you have this kind of mini summer break for you guys. What's your plan for that period? Are you staying local? Are you traveling? What are you doing?
No, I'm going to be back home working out, so I'm going to be back home with the fam, get to spend time with them, and then just trying to get in better shape, prepare for training camp.
Yeah. What have you learned about yourself coming into this second year? I would assume that you're watching film, maybe you're preparing your body differently. What does it look like for you?
For sure, preparing my body differently, knowing last year was kind of like a trial run. I mean, it was a blessing that I mean, obviously everybody always wants to start, but it was kind of like a blessing for me not starting, figuring out, okay, what I got to do to prepare myself every week. Yeah. So learning that, and then getting my body in better shape, and just understanding snap counts, understanding defensive tendencies, understanding the playbook even better. I mean, now we got a new scheme, so that's a challenge. But just knowing football a little better from the NFL, just being in it for, I guess, going into my second year. So, I'm seeing stuff much quicker. I'm understanding what I could get away with, what I can't get away with. So, I mean, it's just exciting. Year one, you're just thrown in and everything is spinning. But, stuff is always going to spin no matter what year you in, but it spins much less. Yeah.
What are team meetings like with your new head coach? I think from the outside, we were like, oh, Pete Carroll was so crazy. We could always hear you guys, shooting hoops or whatever. And there was this assumption that Mike McDonald would be more serious. But now we're hearing he maybe has a funny side. I mean, what are meetings like?
Meetings are normal.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably not as loose as when Pete was here. He was different. His style of coaching was very different from a lot of people. But meetings are still sometimes, they're still enjoyable. You get something out of it, and yeah.
Yeah.
What's it like? You got Sam Howell here now. I assume you're getting some reps with him as well. What's his personality like?
Sam is very laid back, and he's somebody that's detailed and that you can tell that cares for sure. So I know it's weird switching teams, and then him going from being the starter to the role he's in right now. So I know it's different, but he's handled it very well. He's picking up the playbook. He's trying to lead and things of that nature. So Sam is doing a really good job.
You are no longer a rookie. Has there yet been that kind of offensive line dinner where rookies have to cover it? Is that in the works? And how happy are you to not have to be the one forking over some change if you get into that moment? Did you guys do that last year where you and someone? Okay.
For sure.
So you're waiting for your moment. to not have to pay for it.
Yeah, no, it's exciting not being a rookie for sure. So
Get away
like
from
the
some stuff.
different rookie duties that you got to take care of. But I mean, I'm laid back. I don't be asking much of people and things of that nature.
Yeah.
I just like to get the work in and hang out with the boys. So yeah.
You went to Michigan.
Did.
Harbaugh's now with Diego.
Mm-hmm.
What's he like as a coach, man? Because he's had success in the NFL, and then he went to the college ranks and had 8 or 9 years over there with Michigan. What do you expect out of the Chargers? I don't think we play them this year, right? We don't play them this year, but
First game of preseason.
First game of preseason.
Yeah.
All right, go get
Not
something
regular
then.
season.
What do I expect from the Chargers? I mean, I know with a team led by Coach Harbaugh, they're going to be physical, they're going to be tough, and they're going to be assignment sound. So, I mean, I expect that from the Chargers this year. So, they're going to be a tough team to beat. They're in a tough division, and they're going to try their best to win the division and get into the playoffs. So,
what's it like? Because I would assume, right, in college, there are some games where you were just dominant. You whooping somebody's, every single play. But then in the NFL, I try to tell people, even the bad teams got some ballers over there. What is that like? I mean, is it every single week? The challenge is the same, or do you feel like there's a gap in between talent like in college?
every week is the same, and that you have to, the way you prepare, where it was different from in college. Like, just being honest, like, you don't have to prepare for a team that's, I mean, not saying you don't have to prepare, like, physically, you're not going into the game like, okay, this dude could beat me if I'm not on what I need to be doing. But every week, no matter if it's an all-pro, a pro bowler, or just a rookie, it doesn't matter who it is. Like, if you're not, playing with technique, doing what you need to do, getting off on the snap count, like, they can beat you. So the big thing is in the league is, like, every snap counts. And obviously, like, you do go against some freaks where it's even heightened. Like he's going to beat me if I don't do what I need to do. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
Yep.
Seahawks center Olu Oluwatimi, thank you so much for joining us. Olu, have a great couple days of practice here and obviously a great break. Enjoy that time with your family. Coming back with more Seahawks next. Don't go anywhere.